ورسوله الأمين. Can you hear me? اسمعوني? Welcome, all of you. This information session is going to be about Master of Arts in Islam and Global Affairs. We will go through the program, the aims and objectives of the program, the details of the program, and then we will give you a chance to raise any questions, and we will conclude at the end. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mustafa Osman Al-Amin. I'm a professor at College of Islamic Studies. I'm the coordinator of the program Islam and Global Affairs. With me is Professor Luay Safi. I think maybe some of you knows him. Professor Luay Safi is specialized in Islam and Global Affairs, and with us also Muhammad Umar, who is admin here in the program. So okay, let us, am I in the right direction, Muhammad? Yes? Okay. So let us first start by introduce the program. What's the aim of the program? What is the objectives of the program? So IGA, as I said, Islam and Global Affairs, its aim is to, first of all, to introduce the concept of Islam about very important global issues to the student. This is one. Secondly, also you will go deeper and deeper and study challenges that facing Muslim community at the global levels. Thirdly, you will discuss and learn these challenges and then try to find solution for these challenges. Also, at the end, you will end up by how Islamic teaching can help to indicate how Islam protect humanity, dignity, and the welfare of the people in general. So these are the main reasons behind creating this program. And this will be reflected on the courses of the program, which we are going to explain it. The program is composed of 36 credits, and it will take you 2 years. In the first, you're going to have 6 courses. The first courses, which is going to start in the fall semester, end of August, and then continue till the end of December. And you will cover 3 courses. The first one about Introduction to Islam and Global Affairs. The second one is about Islamic worldview. And the third one is about research methods. You know, this university is a postgraduate university. Research is very important part of the skills that the student should know. And that's why you have to be able, when you will be graduated, how to write articles, how to write books, how to analyze the literature review, and to participate in globally by introducing what you've been studied through articles, through books, and so on. So that's why this course is very important, research method. And then we move to the second semester, which is the spring semester, which is start in January. The spring semester also include The first one, the first 3 courses, we call it foundation courses. And then the second semester, the 3 courses, we call it core courses. This is include, I think I should use this. This is not the one which is the same. Huh? Anyhow, so the second semester we're going to have three courses. The first one is going to be about the studies of peace and conflict from an Islamic concept. As you know, peace, conflict is spreading, in fact, all over the world, but mainly in the Islamic world. We think that it's important that a student should know what is the concept of Islam about peace, about conflict, how to resolve conflict, what is the incentive that Islam is giving much better than the way how the conflict resolution today. So together with conflict studies, then you are going to have global inequalities. Global inequalities, this is also one of the important topics that we think that it is very important, the equality. What is the concept of Islam about equality? If I'm going to talk to you about concept of Islam, that does not mean that we are not going to elaborate on the concept of others, which is going on. But at the same time, we feel that it's important the student should be aware of the concept of Islam, can compare it with other concepts, can use it in order to elaborate more, to help others within this concept. And then you are going to have also globalization and phase-based development. Because we believe that religion is not against science. In the West, because of historical background, the church separate from the science. And this, the Western Industrial Revolution started parallelly. It started on the understanding that you have to keep the church away. In Islam, on the contrary, Islam encouraged human beings, individuals, Muslim and other, in order to learn. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء يا معشر الإنس والجن إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان يا أولي الألباب. So Islam encourage تعلموا العلم من المهدي إلى اللهدي ولو في الصين. So here we need to teach and to let the student go deeper and deeper and know how science and faith together could help human dignity, human well-being, human development. So these are the 3 courses which you are going to have in the second semester. The third semester, we are going to have 3 courses also, one about humanitarian action in the Muslim world. As you know, especially here and in the Muslim world, there are many organizations working in the humanitarian field. And many of the students whom they join this program are either from the diplomatic field, from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or from humanitarian field, those who are working in a humanitarian organization. So the course will equip them with the modern understanding of humanities and humanitarian work, the humanitarian law, the international humanitarian law, and the principles of humanitarian act. All of this, you will get it from the course. And also, we will take you to some humanitarian organization here to visit and to understand what's happening. We'll give you case studies from the field of those who are working, for example, in Syria or in Pakistan or in Palestine. They will talk to you. They will give you an understanding from the field, what is the challenge, what they are doing, and all of that. Also, then you are going to have what we call it iLab. iLab is the way how to analyze the problem and at the same time to try to find a solution for this problem. So it's a problem-solving issue. So the course will learn how to analyze, to study the problem, to analyze it, and then to go further and to put a solution. Then this solution will help you to go and to try to find a practical solution. For example, I can give you an example here that some of our students, after they present the solution for some problems, for example, how to empower women in refugee camps. So we send a student to Pakistan, and she studied the case of refugees there. She come and she presents the project. We succeed to find an organization to finance the issue or the program, and then it helped a lot. It is going on now. So these are, I mean, how to be deeply involved in this iLab study. So by this you cover, you left only with research. Research is going to be in the last semester, the spring semester. After it, you will be graduated after you complete 2 years. So this research, with your supervisor, you are going to pick a topic, and then you go deeper and write your thesis, and then you will defend your thesis after you finish writing the thesis, and you will be graduated. I think I should stop here. If you have any question before we go to more details about the, I think maybe you'll ask about the finance and the budget and all of this. So if you have any question, or Professor I could add anything before we go to the question. Please.
Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to this presentation. Dr. Mustafa has covered a lot of issues about the curriculum and the main courses and interests. Let me say quickly some few words about the program. Now, as you may all know, this Awlama, globalization, is really at the heart of the Islamic revelation. This is Al-Alamin, the concept of Alamin. The Quran starts from the first ayah with Alhamdulillahi Rabbi Al-Alamin, not Rabbi al-Muslimin or Rabbi al-Mu'mineen, Rabbi Al-Alamin. And it ends with Nas, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. And in between, a lot of discussions about the human condition and the obligations of the believers toward other human beings. And it tells us that our prophet, the seal of prophets, came for a particular purpose, to become rahmatan lil alameen. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So, and we can tell from his life, really, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was always concerned not only about his followers, but those who did not get the message. So he was concerned about them and devoted a lot of his time, and he was patient with them. And that's that. So my point here is that when this program was put together, was put with the understanding that we cannot be really complete Muslims without being concerned about the conditions of humanity. because it's part of our mandate. We inherited the message that was sent to the Prophet ﷺ, and so we have to carry this rahmatan lil alamin ourselves. But there's another dimension that has to do with us as an ummah, because the ummah is no more geographically contained. There is no alam Islam and alam akhar. There's no two words. Muslims are everywhere now. There are many Muslims in Europe, many Muslims in North America, in South America, in Australia. 20% of the Indians are Muslims. About 5% of the Chinese are Muslims. 15% to 20%, we're not sure, in Russia are Muslims. So Muslims are everywhere. They're in Europe, and they were part of Europe really historically. And so the idea is really we have to get engaged for two reasons, because we have to deal with issues of humanity, and we have to deal with also see how we can support the Muslims that are oppressed everywhere these days. I mean, they are challenged, inshallah, for good reasons. And so what we do, as Dr. Mustafa mentioned, we first of all begin the first foundational courses. These are really about not only methodology, how to approach your question and how to analyze the problem and how to support whatever conclusions you come to, but also about two courses. One is called Introduction to Islam and Global Affairs. And there we start to look at theories, like we like to look at movements. We look at the new conservatives. We look at the new liberals. These are two important movements that are shaping the human society, including our societies. And so we have to understand what's going on, what are the forces who are active there, what are their ideas, what are their goals. And also we look at Islam in terms of the basic ideas that Islam provides for us, and the basic values, I should say, as well. Because, at the heart of Islam is really the qiyam, the values. Dinan qiyaman. That's how the Quran describes Islam. Dinan qiyaman. Dinul qiyam as well, which is really the same thing. Qiyam meaning it has qiyam, it has values. We have to use to analyze reality and to translate them or make them part of the institutional structure of our societies, and maybe make sure that those values become relations and institutions. So we try to approach that issue by looking at ideas, forces, theories, and we also look at what Islam and Muslim scholars have to offer as the theoretical framework that you need in order really to start to develop your goals, to develop your approaches to dealing with the challenges, and be of help and of service to your community and to humanity. Now, having said that, this is not really a course only about theory. As Dr. Mustafa pointed out, really the heart of it is we want our graduate, at least at the level of a master's, to become able to have the skills so that they can have a project. They can develop a project and have sort of a blueprint for it. And so and then we try to connect them with, teach them how to get the support who are there to work with. And so all of that is part of this program, and iLab is at the heart of particularly this practical aspect. But of course, this one of the courses that you're going to learn is very practicable. Is about peace and conflict resolution, how to approach issues of conflict, how could you transform those conflicts. And unfortunately, many of those conflicts are like these are our own making, So we have a lot of internal conflicts, and these are the ones that create pains in the Muslim community, not the outside, because you can deal with the outside, but when they are internal, then really this is like draining. And so, how to deal with issues of peace and conflict? That is one area. the issues that we deal with, like issue of global inequality. Now, as you know, Islam has established the Tawhidic revelation, from Ibrahim alayhi salam to the final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of them came to teach us that humans have equal dignity. There is no social structure. We don't have people like they are special people and above others. Everybody has to be treated based on the same sets of values and standards. We don't treat some people like very special and then the others are lesser people. We have this concept of equal dignity. Unfortunately, in the last at least 50 years, with the coming of what we call new liberalism, which had nothing to do with liberalism, it's about liberating capital, not liberating people, society is becoming more stratified. There is a social hierarchy that is evolving. We could see it, of course, in Muslim countries, but recently we started to see it even in Europe and the West. There's a social hierarchy, which is really Muslims from day one, they wanted to end this social hierarchy, this imperial structure where people are treated, some of them are special people, they have special privileges and rights, and the others, nobody cares about them. So issues of equality, we focus on, we look at migration, and you know that migration has become recently one of the main challenges, and it will continue to do that. The level of migration from the south to the north is tremendous, and of course, many people in the north are trying to put stop to it, not by dealing with the root causes of that migration, which is the impoverishment of people outside the West, but by creating maybe harder border and more pain and suffering for those who are trying to search for a better living because they cannot live in their societies that have been ruined by corporate interests and by corporate powers. So this is, I don't want to really move further, but I'm trying to share with you some of our concerns and how we look at them. Of course, we don't preach. We look at data, we look at information, we look at theories in order to develop the skills and understanding as how to deal with global challenges, which are, as I said, Muslim challenges, but increasingly they are human challenges.
Thank you very much, Professor Luai. Just I would like to explain to you the requirement for you to apply. Any applicants who want to apply to the Master of Islam and Global Affairs, first of all, he or she should have to have a bachelor degree. This is number one. And with the bachelor degree, he's supposed to have this bachelor degree is supposed to have a GPA of at least 3 out of 4. In the language, now we prefer bilingual, but you have to have either a certificate that you study in a university, study English with English language, or you have IELTS of at least 6.5. And then you apply online. You check on the admission email. These documents, it has to be ready. Of these documents are, first of all, academic qualification. And for those who are applying from outside, this academic certification should be authenticated. And then you have to have a professional experience. And then you have to have, if you have any publication, you have to mention this publication, whether books or articles or whatever it is. And then research projects, if you have any research. And then academic awards and honors. And then conference presentation, if you attend any conference or anything. All of these, it will help for the admission in order to pass your paper for interview. So I hope this is clear. But besides this, you have to write an introductory letter. In that introductory letter, to mention why are you applying for this master degree, what motivate you in order to come and to apply. And at the same time, you have to have two referees. They should have to nominate you and support your application. All of these, it should be online. And also for finance, the university and in CIS also, we have some scholars, of course, but during the process of your application, the admission, the interview, you will get more and more information about the scholar. And from the beginning, it has to be clear whether you are self-supported or you have scholar from any place or you are in need of a scholar. The fees for the total program is 72,000 Qatari riyal. And the program, as I said, it's 36 credit hours. And each credit hour is 2,000. So the total is 72,000 Qatari riyal. I think you can pay the money once, or you can divide it according to the semesters. All these details, you will get it in the admission website. And any question you want to, you are looking for the answer, you will get it also from the admission. I think I covered the process of applications and so on. The application will be open until April, 1st of April, or
Almost the end of March, right?
end of March.
End of March.
Until end of March for local and Qatari student. It's going to be up to end of March. I think now it is closed for international student.
Close for international, right?
Yeah.
But if you are resident, then you are considered to be.
So if you have any question, please, you can raise it for me or Professor Loy can answer it.
I have some questions from the viewers online.
Yes, please.
How many viewers are there? Only one or more? Five?
Four questions, I think. Okay.
Let us allow first. Anybody has question here before we go on?
I have questions that the topics when we talking about the conflict as example, we learn it from the Islamic perspectives, or it's general, يعني international humanitarian law, what is exists, or the Islamic method in this topic.
Both. You are going to understand some of the major theories in any topic. But for us, really, Islam, we focus on Islam in the public sphere, not as like individual obligations in terms of the Salah and Siyam and Zakat. That's not our focus. Our focus on Islam in the public sphere, and that's where values really. So we have Islamic values of justice, of equality, of compassion toward those who need our support, either they are weak or oppressed or lacking resources. So this is the framework that we use, which is grounded, and we engage also some of the historical material and ideas, but we study theories as well. As I said, maybe Dr. Mustafa can elaborate on that in the area of peacemaking, and so it is a sort of an attempt to understand what is there, but also provide ideas by looking at Islamic scholars who have written on those issues, and we look at others. So it is really comprehensive. We don't want to just focus on one area, because after all, we believe you have to understand what is there. What are the main approaches, the ideas? So when we talk about something Islamic, we see how much of that is like there's an area of overlapping, and how much they are different.
Well, if I can,
Okay, he has
yeah,
one. Okay.
if I can elaborate more on this issue about conflict, we teach conflict in the. You can say we divided the course into four categories. The first one is to introduce conflict in general, theoretical background. We'll give you the history of conflict. There are different theories. One theory says that conflict is in the genes of the human being. It is going to continue. It started from the starting of life from Sayyidina Adam, لما كان في الجنة, between him and Iblis, and then it continue with his sons and then with prophets and so on, and it's going to continue up to the last day. So this theory believes that the conflict is within the genes. You can contain it, you can control it, you can solve it, but it's going to continue. So we'll give you these different theories and history and so on. And then we move a little bit to give you cases of conflict resolution nowadays and the mediation methodology. And we will give you a sort of modern trend of conflict nowadays. From Africa, from Europe, from Asia, famous conflict like the Palestine conflict, like Rohingya conflict, like now Ukraine, like, and so on. And then we move to the Islamic concept. We will start from the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him. How the Prophet succeed to settle, for example, we'll give you example, how he succeed to settle problems in Al-Medina, and he built a nation in a brotherhood, and even he built a nation between the Muslim and non-Muslim, like Jewish and so on, how he settled the problem between Aus and Khazraj, as an example. And then we can give you another example, how the Prophet, peace be upon him, succeed to solve problem by trying to avoid bloodshed, as the model of Al-Hudaybiyah, for example. He signed an agreement in order to avoid bloodshed between both, even from non-believer and the believer. And then also we can give you example of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he conquered Mecca. Although he been tortured by his companion, by the Qurayshi, but when he entered Mecca, he didn't take revenge. On the other hand, he said, اذهبوا فأنتم الطلقاء. So these are examples, and we present the Prophet, peace be upon him, as the leader who has succeeded in order to settle conflict and to build a nation with coherence, with loving each other. And then we give also examples of current problem, and for example, Nelson Mandela. In the modern time, he succeeded to try not to take revenge from the white after apartheid, in order to build a nation. And so this is a sort of a leader who has got a foresight. He overcome all these difficulties in order to build a nation. And then the third step, we compare what is going on today by the UN in solving the problem through mediation and so on, and what's the difference between it and between Islamic concept. Here, the UN mainly solves the problem through bargain. You see, bargaining and reach to a settlement, whatever that bring justice or not, it doesn't matter, but to settle the problem. That's why we said UN contains the problem, not solving it. That's why the conflict in Palestine is continuing now for more than 70 years. The conflict in Rohingya is moving more than, and it's going to continue also in Ukraine and so on. In Islam, first of all, justice is the priority. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said, يعني فيما معناه في خطبته الأولى يعني لآخذن حق الضعيف من القوي، يعني القوي عندي ضعيف حتى آخذ الحق منه، والضعيف عندي قوي حتى آخذ الحق له. Justice is very important, not bargaining or compromise. And then we will continue that in Islam, the priority is to settle the problems. The Quran said, وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. First of all, Islam start by warning from conflict. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا فَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُم. Then also, إِن جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. لا يسخر قوم من قوم. All of these are warning. Islam built a circle in order to protect the community from conflict. And then move little bit. If it happens, and it's going to happen, then how to settle it? All these details of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ and the incentive of Islam, this incentive like Islah Zat al-Bain, if you make, for example, forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. This incentive is in Islam. It's not in the UN way of settling the problem. All of this, we explain it, and then we end up with models how to settle problems. We present a model, and then we will give you a chance to tell us and to show us how you are going to settle these problems. For example, we might ask you a question, how can we settle the problem in Gaza now? So you have to think, how can we do it? From Islamic point of view and from the Western point of view. And which one is going to take us to conflict resolution, and which one is going to take us to conflict management? I think I explained it. Thank you.
It's too nice with the practice. I think now, most likely this like theoretically, we study, we say this is the solution, and we think that this is the solution. But at the end, the other thing that I'm not talking about the rate of Muhammad, but anyway, now we are Muslim, we are not in the Prophet's time. They have like the power maybe to put those solutions. But now we can maybe succeed. Okay, we can solve this problem. We want to eat, but we cannot implement that. That's silly question, but that will be.
No. First of all, Muzammil, most of conflict are in the Muslim world.
Yes.
Most of conflict are between Muslims. So when we explain Islam, we are explaining Islam to Muslims. This is one. Secondly, we would like to introduce Islam for non-Muslim and to tell them that Islam has got its own way to settle problems, and this could benefit because now almost the whole world admits that they fail to solve problems, major problems. It could continue like the World War I, World War II, millions of lives could end up with. But I think at that time, they are not aware of how Islam, first of all, start by warning system. Now, the international community start to develop this early warning system. And then after that, to find solution to this conflict and problem. So because of the current problem of conflict and the spread of conflict, we feel that it is important for us to raise this issue from Islamic concept in order to encourage others to use, first of all, it is part of our duty to spread Islam and to tell about Islam. But at the same time, we believe that this is an added value for those who are working in the field of conflict resolution.
Yeah, we have a few quick questions here.
Yes, please.
Put by people online. So let me quickly also answer them. And if you want to also comment, be good. So the first question is about, it says, can you please describe student who mostly fit the IGA program. Of course, that's what Dr. Mustafa just said. I would advise you to go to the website, and there are all the information you need. So you have to have bachelor, you have to have certain GPA, which is 3 point out of 4. You have to fill the information. There are online information you have to fill, and you have to provide some documentation of the fact that your transcripts. We require a letter of intent, statement of intent. As Dr. Mustafa pointed out, why are you interested in this program? Why it is an important thing for you to do that. So this is what you need to do. Another question, and please feel free to jump if you'd like, but I'm trying to. Okay. So the second one, how many students do you plan to admit for the class? Well, I mean, usually our aim is to have, postgraduate or graduate classes are not huge. So we'd like to keep it within 15 students in the class. So, but of course, these have to be 15. They have to, meet the requirement. They can't just because we really, usually we have about 160 applicants. Out of this number, we get, the best who are really prepared and they have all the information they have provided us. So yeah, that's about the admission, the number of students. Now, there is another question by another viewer, participants. Dear viewers, please feel free to, okay. Salam, are all shortlisted applicants interviewed? Yes. So we shortlist. And let me give an example. Last year we interviewed about 15 students, 15 to 20 students we interview. So we shortlist out of this 160 or 170. Those who really meet the conditions, we follow up with interview. And out of that, we get the number that, and there's a flexibility in the number. But we have to have students who really meet our requirement. Did you send letters to all shortlisted? Yeah, we do send letters to all shortlisted. And everyone who applied will hear from the admission, whether accepted or not. So everybody will hear. So there will be communication. But definitely when we shortlist, we send emails and we set a time for the interview. The last question, if a student is not shortlisted, will they still receive an email from admissions? Yeah. If they are not shortlisted, they will receive an email. So you know whether you have met the conditions or not. You're not going to be left in suspense. You don't know what's going on. These are really the questions, and if you want to add to it.
I think if you have no question, I will add 2 more points for you.
So
Yes.
question.
Yes, please.
You have percentage from the international students and the local residents?
Yes. We're expecting international student about 1/3, and Qatari and local student 2/3, roughly. So I would like to mention to you 2 things. One thing is that starting from this year, mostly because the agreement will be signed just maybe next week or so, this is a new program between Hamad bin Khalifa University and Luis University in Italy. In this program, we're going to give the graduate dual citizen, dual certificate, dual master, 2 masters. We will inform you during the interview exactly what you need to do, because roughly what is going to happen is that if you decided to take that branch, it's going to be part of the IGA. You will start in Rome, in Italy. You will study the first 2 semesters in Italy. And then you come back to join the group in the second year. And you will do your thesis here. You will end up by 2 masters. One in Islam and Global Affairs, which it will be issued from this university. The second one is International Relationship, which will be issued from Lewis University. So as I said, in the interview, you are going to have more information about it and about the scholarship and all the details concerning. But take that in your mind. If you've been, inshallah, if you've been shortlisted and come to the interview, we will explain to you more about this. It is going to start this year, starting from the fall, which is going to start in August. The second thing is that we have a very important program which is called Maker Majlis. Maker Majlis started 4 or 5 years ago in order to link the youth and to mobilize their role in SDGs. SDGs, which is Sustainable Development Goal, the 17 goals, you know it, which been presented by the UN. And then this year, last year, we make a new version for this Maker Majlis to concentrate on the challenge that facing the youth, facing their iman. You know, there are some deviation في مشاكل بتواجه الشباب في قوة إيمانهم في التصدي لمحاولات التشويه الحاصلة الآن، في محاولات اللجوء للإلحاد بعد الكوارث، في محاولات تتبع الغرب في بعض الأشياء ممكن تعتبرها يعني شذوذ. كلكم يعني متابعين يعني المظاهر اللي بقت تظهر في الغرب، الشذوذ الجنسي والذي المثلية وغيرها. فميكر مجلس النيو فيرجن بتاعته اسمه الإيمان أمانة، Faith is a Trust. البرنامج ده الآن بيغطي مجالات عديدة جدا، كيف يعزز القيم الإيمانية في نفوس الشباب. هو برنامج ما أكاديمي، يعني أنت you are not going to have، يعني ما في درجات حتاخدها ولا في كلاس روم، لكنه في افتر كلاس اللي هو واحد منها اللي لو شايفينه الآن كل يوم أحد في الشيخ عبد الرحيم مكارسي بيجي يعمل يعني تفسير وربط لسورة الإسراء بما يجري في فلسطين والى اخره. ففي برامج عديده ضمن الايمان امانه، وفي مؤسسات عديده شغاله في الجانب ده. البرنامج ده بدا العام الماضي، we launched it في نوفمبر last year and it is going to continue. It's going to be a big program and we hope that this also is going to reflect positively on our program Islam and Global Affairs. I think we almost come to the end. If you have any more question, you can ask. Let us say سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. And let us hope that all of you will be shortlisted and will be interviewed and will join the IGA program this year, inshallah, and hope that all of you will see you, inshallah, in class. Assalamu alaikum.